Welcome to my channel Daily Bulletin News. Steve and Brady rescue Ava, but Rafe's ordeal is far from over. In Horton Square, Javi tells Jada not to waste any more tears on his cousin and informs her that Rafe cheated on her. Jada knows Rafe has done some messed up things lately, but he'd never be unfaithful. Javi couldn't believe it either, but he was. He tells her it was the night before they were to get married and with the stripper from his bachelor party. He says her name is Savannah, and he found them together the morning of the wedding in Rafe's room. Jada says that doesn't prove anything, so Javi reveals she came out of the bathroom in a towel. He says Rafe tried to claim she stayed over as she was drunk, but it was a lie. He told Rafe to fess up, and he did, and he didn't even think it was a big deal. Jada says he found this out the morning of their wedding, which was weeks ago, so why is she just now hearing about this? Javi explains he wanted to tell her, but Rafe pulled the family card. Jada admits she's covered for her sister more than once, so she understands why he didn't tell anyone. Javi confesses that he told Leo, and she worries he'll turn this into a gossip column. Javi says he won't, and Leo was going to expose Rafe for him during the wedding. She recalls they both stood up at the wedding to say something. Javi continues that he was going to tell her, and that's when Rafe stopped the wedding. Jada says she can't believe Rafe has found another way to hurt and humiliate her. Javi was hoping this would help her get over Rafe once and for all. Jada cries about the dream she had of Rafe begging her to forgive him and how she was still holding out hope they'd get through this. She realizes now that's not happening, and she and Rafe are over. Javi gets a text from Gabby, who needs him at the office. She tells him to go, and she is fine. Rafe pleads with Rachel in the attic of the Blake house. Rachel lays some ground rules before Rafe gets his breakfast, namely, no screaming and no biting. Rafe asks about the woman's voice he heard. She tells him that he's not the only prisoner in this house. Rafe asks who else is here. She says that's not his concern. Rafe tells her to be smart and let him go, but she can't, as she has a deal with EJ Demera. Rafe vents that EJ is the scum of the earth, and she can't trust him. He says EJ won't hold up their deal, and he is just like his father. Rachel says, Stefano. Rafe tells her that Stefano raised EJ and molded him into his own twisted image. Rafe tries to convince her that EJ will destroy her without a second thought. If she lets him go, he'll swear EJ forced her to do this. Rachel says she can't help him as she has to protect her daughter and granddaughter. Rafe asks what they have to do with this and what is going on. He swears he can get her out of this. She tells him that he talks too much, gags him, and walks off. Ava's rescued, but not Rafe downstairs. Brady and Steve arrive, and Brady tells Ava it's over. As he unties her, Ava informs him that little Rachel lured her here and then used her phone to send him that phony text that she went to China. Steve says Rachel couldn't have done this alone. Ava says she didn't, and she had help from Kristen's mother. Brady is stunned as she's dead. Ava says she's not, she's creeping around here dressed in white. Brady says it has to be a trick. Rachel Blake has been dead for decades. Ava swears that Kristen's mommy dearest has been holding her in this house. Steve asks where she is now. Ava insists she is not crazy and Rachel was just here. She doesn't know where the old bat is now, but she swears on Tripp's life that Kristen's mother has been holding her captive. Steve says he'll search the house. Brady tells Ava that he believes her. He asks if she's hurt, and Ava says she'll be okay. They both agree this is insane, and Brady is mortified that his daughter was involved. Ava then drops the bomb that Kristen was also in on this. She explains Kristen didn't know her mother was even alive at first, and Kristen found her phone and a scrapbook about this place in Rachel's backpack and put two and two together. That's how she arrived here. Brady remembers Kristen skipped out on taking Rachel to therapy with him the other day when she was holding her backpack, so it was clear she came here. Brady can't believe Kristen didn't free her. Ava says her mother talked her out of it to protect little Rachel. She also says EJ knew she was here too and didn't lift a finger to help her. Up in the attic, Steve catches Rachel leaving the room Rafe is in and says, "Well, I'll be damned. Ava wasn't seeing things. You must be the infamous Rachel Blake." She asks who he is and why he's trespassing in her house. He tells her his name and that the woman she had tied up is the mother of one of his sons. He asks if she'll come willingly or if they do this the hard way. Stay tuned and subscribe the channel.